After recent frost damaged plant life across parts of Walt Disney World, Disney is now working to bring the parks back to life just in time for the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. Crews have been rushing to replace flowers, refresh landscape, and install new topiaries throughout the park as Disney tries to restore the vibrant displays the festival is known for. The cold snap took a visible toll on the resort's carefully maintained gardens, but with the festival underway, Disney is pushing to revive the colorful scenery guests expect to see every day at Epcot. So let's talk about it here today on That Park Place. Guys, Mouse Steps has this one right now. The Beauty and the Beast topiaries have arrived for the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival for 2026. And we have got a, they are trying, and it's just in time because you're going to have to replace a lot of plants anyway because of how this is. The Beauty and the Beast topiaries have arrived for the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival 2026. This is the location they've been for many years, even before Belle received her updated look in 2017. Beast has also evolved through the years as other topiaries have at the festival. Cogsworth and Lumiere are also in place, but Belle was roaming the pavilion when they were photographing the topiaries. So that was pretty cool too. We were able to take some photos of the topiaries as well. Here's a picture of what the topiaries look like. And it's a good thing that this frost did not happen during the Flower and Garden Festival. That would be very unseasonal, but still, because you saw, Vash, in the footage that we shot for Park Hoppin', even, they were covering large swaths of the foliage throughout the parks with these big white sheets to keep them safe.
Yeah.
But the park has gone through extensive plant damage because of that. Palm trees died, plants died, flowers died. You saw a lot of rotted out husks of different plants all throughout the four parks. And thankfully, right in time for them to rip everything out and replace it all for Flower and Garden Festival, at least in Epcot.
True, but I do kind of wonder how this kind of affected operations because from what I recall, I believe Disney, spends an entire year kind of setting up for the next Flower Garden Festival because there's so many flowers that they need on hand. They start growing them in greenhouses across property. I believe they have various ways of setting up for this event. And so I kind of just wonder what the showcase this year will actually look like, given how extensive the damage has actually been around Walt Disney World Resort property. Hopefully the places in which they are growing flowers, because they need hundreds of thousands of them to be included for this specific festival right here, aren't impacted by the recent cold weather. We've seen tremendous damage across the resort, not just to plant structures, but also to physical structures like Gertie, for example. His tail fell off right over there at
Gertie's
Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Fall off. You know what? Actually, let me pull that up because I would like to talk about that for a second while we talk about this. Just the dinosaur Gertie tail, because this is insane that Gertie's tail fell off because of the cold damage.
It's so bad, so tragic. You hate to see this happen to a place that we all love and we all love actually visiting right here. So we're talking about tremendous damage across the resort, and like I was saying before, I just don't know how this is going to look. Here you go.
They patched it a few months ago, and then it came off. It didn't. I don't know if that patchwork they did. Water. Yeah, and then they tried covering up with like these weird boxes.
Yep, on WWNT, they're saying that on Valentine's Day, reporters noticed a deep horizontal crack running along Gertie the dinosaur's tail. The spot is normally hidden by landscaping. With the removal of vegetation due to the freezing temperatures, the structure was then fully visible. And we see right here this horizontal crack that happened. By February 16th, it had been patched and painted over, which is what we see right here. But the fix was insufficient as the crack reopened February 27th and the tail fell off. Gertie's ice cream of extinction remained open and operating normally as of that morning. It was sitting but the tail was sitting at the bottom of the lake beside her. That is crazy, guys. That is something you never expect to see from something as iconic as dinosaur Gertie. But if we look even so now, apparently they are in the process of fixing dinosaur Gertie's tail. Which I can pull up for you guys in a second.
I don't think they anticipated this freeze that we had. If they would have drained a little bit of that water, maybe that tail would not have fell off, because I really think that the cold water had a lot to do with it, because let's face it, she's old. I don't know what kind of material she's made out of, but from hot to cold, it can make the material like fluctuate, or I don't know how to explain it, but that's probably, yeah, probably, I don't know. And it looks just really rusted.
So this, as of today, the crack in Gertie's tail at Hollywood Studios, the broken tail fell off. Disney attempted to hide the missing piece with a couple of random boxes a few days ago, but it appears work is underway to properly fix the issue. We see here the scrim on the back of Gertie's body is visible from a distance. Echo Lake has also been drained to a level where the unpainted part of Gertie's tail is visible above the water. Over on the side near the counter window, the scrim covers the left hole by the broken tail. The end of Gertie's tail is fully visible, sticking out of the ground. The stripe marking where the water level ought to be is visible on both pieces of Gertie. So you see it right there. They have taken quite a bit of water out of this little lake here. So yeah, Dinosaur Gertie's tail is back. But now moving back over to Epcot, though, Flower and Garden is one of their bigger festivals. People love to come see the topiaries. They love to come see all the different flowers and things like that. I personally don't, because whenever I have to go there to cover it, I end up getting an allergy attack because of all the pollen. But it's rough. Like, allergies are rough at Flower and Garden. But yeah, not every park has a Flower and Garden Festival, Vash. What are they going to do for Magic Kingdom? What are they going to do for Animal Kingdom, where they had quite a bit of plant life?
Yeah, I mean, that's the other problem, right? And look, I agree with you, MJ. They didn't, they weren't necessarily prepared, but how do you prepare to manage the survivability of plant life throughout an entire resort that is, twice the size of the island of Manhattan? I mean, it's really, really tough to do that. And so you had to, prioritize, and it's almost like triage, right? It's like, okay, we got to protect this plant, we got to protect this plant, we got to protect this thing, and just some things are just, unfortunately going to be missed. Yeah, I do kind of wonder how horticulturally they're doing it some of these other places, especially Animal Kingdom, right? Because Animal Kingdom, so much of it is the plant life, the vegetation, really immersing you into the atmosphere, whether it be, the plains of the Serengeti or some part of Asia. And so I do very much worry about some of the plant life out there. Hopefully they were well insulated, and hopefully they did survive. But then you got to think about diseases, and there's just all kinds of stuff that can actually happen at Disneyland. Actually, very interestingly enough, the wind caught a tree recently outside of the Plaza Inn over there at Disneyland, and actually fell on two people, which was no good. So there are just all kinds of issues that can crop up when things affect the horticultural elements of the resorts.
I was just wondering to myself, what kind of greenhouse do they use? I know they have their own horticulturists that work on the flowers and the trees and all the beautiful sculptures and things like that. But I'm wondering where they're housed, because like Culture was saying last week, I know they have to, like, with the cold weather and it fluctuating so much, you have to change like watering schedules and have really people like around the clock taking care of these things. And they spend thousands of dollars growing these beautiful flowers and plants for the Flower and Garden Festival. It's just really nice to see all the characters come back and be around Epcot. From my understanding, I could be wrong, but I think they brought all the characters back this year and the cold didn't affect it that much. I could be wrong.
No, it makes sense. Definitely makes sense. So, Erika, did you just go to Flower and Garden Festival when you were local?
Yeah. Oh, that was my favorite. I've been to Flower and Garden more times than I can count.
Yeah, it is one of the better ones.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.